Hey, all, it's Dinosaur, and you probably can see I've been shaved. Yeah, it's been a kind of a hectic week for me, and it's not over with yet. Still got a lot to do. But anyway, I just wanted to let you all know that I'm doing the second episode of Real World, kind of a quick overview of the second Real World explosion in San Francisco. Now, once again, explosion is for the ex girlfriends and boyfriends showing up and messing up things more, which is just a ratings hype, but that's a whole nother story. In this particular episode, after the first episode's kind of crash and burn approach they did, they developed a little more characters. You found a little bit more out about the guys. You actually find out that Corey is actually a cool dude, but he's young and he's impetuous and he doesn't know when to slow down and when to stop, and that comes with time. But Corey, he was the funniest of all of them on that. But he still reminds me of kind of a Jersey Shore wannabe, because there were, in this episode, you saw some pictures of him before when he was with his ex-girlfriend, and he was way thinner, not buff. And now you see pictures after, and he's buff, and he looks like Pauly D. so go fig. But I want to talk about some of the things. You still have the drama between Ashley, Jasmine, actually Ashley and everyone in the house. Ashley and Jasmine specifically. Now, they talked there. Ashley is actually the only one that was kind of real in this episode. See, what happened is I believe Ariel got everyone together and said, okay, we're going to hash all this out because we got to work with each other here and we're not going to have this drama. Just let's get it all out in the open. So they get it out of the open and they said, okay, for those who have drama, we need some one-on-one time to get this solved. So Ashley and Ashley and Jamie go talk, and Ashley was the only one like, you know what? I'll be nice to you. I just don't like you. And if you remember, Jamie, and Jamie's like, what? Why are you being like that? Well, if you remember correctly, Jamie was the one who called Ashley out and said, this is not your boyfriend, or is this another boyfriend or anything. Basically, she stuck her nose in business that it didn't belong. And that's a key fact that was kind of left out in this conversation. Except Ashley remembers it. And Ashley was like, I don't care. I just don't like you. I don't want to deal with you. And that's that. I'll be nice to you, but I just don't like you. So they kind of said, good conversation, move on. And everyone else didn't really have a problem with anyone. Corey is conflicted because he really likes the girl that he banged, I guess, in the confessional, which everyone got kind of upset about because they all got to go in that confessional, and Corey didn't clean it out. I guess the confessional is the new smush room. But it was bear sex, where they had bear hats on. Which was, Corey had the funny line, bear sex, check. That was kind of funny. Overall, his humor is really good. Where Corey failed is that during later on in the episode, he's walking about with his girlfriend, or San Francisco girlfriend, and the Ariel's walking back with another girl, and these dudes come up by her, and he pushes Corey, or getting too close, and Corey pushes him away, and then Corey walks off, I guess, and then they come back like wanting to fight, and then Corey comes back and wants to fight, and I know Corey is not a San Francisco native, but honestly, that's the kind of stuff someone's going to pull a gun and shoot you. Because he was mouthing off to the wrong people. They had security there. You could tell, because all the security, as soon as that one guy pushed Corey, all the security just tackled him. And they have this on film. They all got between them and separated them because the security who is running the camera crews knows. on the seriousness of the situation. But Corey goes off saying, I'm not from this sweet city. I'm about to bust out there, and he's running his mouth because he's young. He has no idea what he's dealing with. And, I've been told that people who live in San Francisco don't go out of their houses after 9 o'clock. And only visitors do. And that's because of this kind of thing. Because you can get that drama, and, I doubt anything's going to happen to him. But where he failed in it is that when he was getting aggressive, he wanted to go back outside and beat up the guy. And one of the other roommates, Ariel, tackled him and brought him to the floor, and he twisted his knee somewhat. And then he couldn't do it. And he's just mad, adrenaline. And he was the one kind of interesting on it. Now, that was later on. But earlier, they had actually a tour for anyone who hadn't been in San Francisco. They had a fire truck tour, which is actually one heck of a way to see San Francisco. I've actually been on one. Where they're just really fun. You get to see the sights, of course. If you're from out of town. See, like, from where I am, I've been there several times. No big deal to me. And it's just, there. But to visitors, it is a big deal because they don't see cars or trains like this often. And it's a treat for them. They get to ride in a fire truck. How many times do you say you get to ride in a fire truck? Not very many, unless you're a fireman. So, anyway, they go on their tour of San Francisco and they see all the sights. Then they go out clubbing again. Now, here's the interesting thing. The format is very similar to Jersey Shore because really what you have is drama in the house, drama between people, more drama in the house, some side thing or something, whether it be roller coasters or touring or whatever, then clubs. And then we repeat after everybody wakes up from being hungover. So that's exactly what's happening here. So what it is the girls, the guys went out and Corey went out to the Castro, and I don't think he knew where he was. And he's like, I don't understand. I'm looking around for the girls, and all I'm seeing these dudes dressed up like girls. He was drunk. It was hilarious. That was funny. I don't think he understood like I said, where he was. So he's like, oh, well, no problem, and then later on, they had like kind of a guys' night out where the girls went out and did their thing, and that's all here. But during the whole other episode, you actually had two exes call. You had Corey's ex that called because Corey is supposedly falling in love with his roommate. I forget her name off the top of my head on that. And he has to straight up with his ex. And his ex, picks up the phone and says, hey, he's like, I'm feeling this one girl. And she's like, you need to stop. And they're like, what? He's like, you need to stop lying to me. You need to be a man, do your own thing, and stop calling me when you were asking my permission. And she hung up the phone. And, I kind of figured out the way she hung up the phone, Corey is a needy person. Whatever girl he's with, and later in the episode you see it. Because he's telling her, don't bring anyone home, don't bring anyone home, don't bring anyone home. He's a very needy, very sensitive person. Even possessive. Very understanding, very caring in a lot of ways, but can be misinterpreted. Because here's something to think about. If she truly likes you, she won't bring anyone home. But at the same time, why are you not going with her? Because girls night out? Okay. Alright, that's cool once in a while, but this is your third day and you said you loved her. I don't know. Weird, but it's young love, so who knows. So, there's that. Then there's this drama where Jamie is trying to get with this other guy, Tom, I believe, on that because he said he's only slept with 3 girls. And then everybody's like, no way, I slept with heck of people. I slept with 3 people when I was 17 and all that. And, blah, blah, blah. And, the thing is, I wonder how much is this the truth and how much is this playing for cameras? Because here's the thing. Here Corey is running his mouth saying, they all know me in Michigan, they all that. But then they show pictures of him and his ex, and he was a scrawny dude. You know, Corey now, I could kind of see it. Corey then, if you look at those pictures, it'd be like, you sure, dude? It still looks to me someone got a hold of you and adjusted some things on that to make it work. But, you know, how much this is bullshit for the cameras, how much is this is truth? I think the guy is saying, hey, look, I've only been with 3 girls and I care about them all. And I'm not just going to sleep with anyone. And that was really kind of cool of him, because he's like, hey, here, not, I don't know if he's even telling the truth, but if it's the truth, it's kind of cool of him. But then it leaves everyone going, what the hell? And then that's the difficulty. So, here's the thing. Everyone's like that, and Jamie, and they go back out to the club, and Jamie is like, talks in her confessional, says, that boy needs to be trained, and I'm the one going to train him. You know, and then he's talking to this girl, and then Jamie comes out and blocks the other girl and kicks her out. And Tom's like, you know you're my girl, and all that, and he starts making out with her and everything. You got fished, Jamie. That's a fish move. He did it on purpose. He knew what he was doing. And I'm sorry. That's a fish move. I think she's being set up. But we probably won't find that out till later. But, you know, and, you know, they're all here, but then there's all this drama with Ashley still, and like what's going on at the clubs, and who's doing what, and everything. But the whole thing ends where Ashley is trying to clean up the glass because of the way Corey came in. He starts knocking it because he's trying to be all macho and everything, he's breaking glass. And she tells Corey, don't come in here. There's glass here, you're barefoot, I don't want you in here. And he's not listening. He's like, I want to talk to her because she's the only one in the house I respect. And she said, fine, talk to her, but don't come in here. You'll cut your feet up. So they go talk. And then he's like, well, I mean, you did this and I did that. And he is like so incomprehensible about, or he's like, well, I'll yell at you if I want to. And she's like, no, you won't. And he's like, you're just going to get up and leave? He's like, yeah. He's like, fine, then just leave. And she goes, okay. And she just leaves. And then Corey's got no one. Thus, young, immature, egotistical. With my communications background, you have standpoints, you have points of view of this, where he has his point of view that he is the male. And his whole argument when he's talking to his girlfriend is, you like to wear the pants, I wear the pants. You like to wear pants, but I wear the pants. Okay, that's his standpoint. Her standpoint is, I like you, but you're going to act like a fool, I'm not going to be with you. So then it comes to accommodation, whereas she was accommodating his ego and all his thing because she loves him or likes him or whatever you want to think. But he was not listening to that, and instead of him wanting to accommodate to her, or he presenting something for her to accommodate to, he just simply told her, I want you in X, Y, and Z and subservient. And she won't play the game. And thus she left. And then he's like, you know, like that, and it's just, you know, you needed to like just go to sleep, dude. Go to sleep, figure this shit out tomorrow on that, and then just, you know, because I know he'll probably come back and say, I'm so sorry, I'm such a jackass, and you know, I remember going through all the Ron and Sammy fights in Jersey Shore, and I understand there's still a couple, and ever since the reality show ended for them, they've been strong, and which is really cool on that, and I'm hoping everything works out great for them. But anyway, this is Dinosa with the second episode. It's getting better, but after the very rocky beginning, but we'll see where it goes. Talk to you later.